We're live. Hello, friends. Welcome to the channel, Real Lady Electrician. My name's Crystal, and I'm an electrician. Today, we're doing a Wellness Wednesday, and on Wellness Wednesday Live, I talk about mental health issues. And today, we're talking about living with anxiety. So, what I'd like to first do is address the comments. Our dear friend Laura's story. She's going through it and she's asked that we pray for her. If you don't pray, that's fine too. Send out some positive vibes. We'd appreciate that. She's having a tough time. Whoops. That's me. I gotta turn it down because I'm the only one in here. Okay. So yes, so we want to support her. She's one of our dear friends, and we love you, Laura. And anything you need in this time, let us know. Let us know. Okay. So the article I'm going to be looking at today is the 22 parts of anxiety that were hardest for people to accept. Oh, I need to put that in Streamer. Okay. And let me just say that what this article is personal things that happen to people that were difficult for them. The 22 parts of anxiety that were the hardest for people. So there we go. Hey, Zach. How are you doing today, Zach? Let me come over here. Welcome. Okay. So, like I was saying, the article is little personal stories from people about something that was hard for them to deal with, or parts of anxiety that were hardest for people to accept. Now, I thought it was things about your anxiety that it was hard for other people to accept. So we'll see, but I think it's little stories about people being unable to accept their anxiety. We'll find out, won't we? All right. So what we're going to do is scroll down. Okay. And that's not the biggest one. Where's it at? All right. Put my glasses on. I'm doing okay. Today is the 9-year anniversary of my brother's passing. Oh, Zach. I hope you're doing well. I know you have been doing really good about talking about him and sharing your stories and just keeping him alive in your memory. Okay. I am going to start the article because it looks like it's just me and is it just me and Zach? What happened? Something's going on with my screen, you guys. Did they do something to StreamYard? Yeah, they did. They did something. It looks weird. Okay, I got an infected tooth and need a root canal on Monday. Ouch. Ouch. Hey, Deb. How are you? So let me see. Is this gonna okay. So that's the top of the page. All right. They did change some stuff in StreamYard I didn't know about. How are you doing today, Deb? We're talking about anxiety today, living with anxiety. And I'd love to hear your stories, anything that you guys have to talk about. The article I'm going to read is the 22 parts of anxiety that were hardest for people to accept. Okay. I'm doing good. How are you? I'm doing really good. Today I'm feeling positive. I think I'm going to try to do some videos even after this. Don't always do that, but today we're going to try. Zach says, I've had a root canal before. They aren't. Yeah, it depends on your dentist because I've had one before and it scarred me for life from root canals. I just have them pulled now. But yeah, it hurt me bad. So you have a good dentist, Zach. Be glad for that. Hey, Wilma. I live with this and a lot of other problems. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, usual checkup. Well, we're praying for you for a good report. So what I think you're saying is you're living with anxiety, correct? And some other issues. If you'd like to talk about it in the chat, feel free. No judgment and no nasty talk in here. Almost everybody has a wrench so that they can if we have any trolls, they can knock them out. So, and I see that you don't have a wrench yet, Wilma. Would it be okay if I gave you one? So far, all my cancer is negative. Went next heart memory. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. If it's okay with you, I'll give you a wrench. Just let me know in the chat. Okay. Probably going to be $1,000 for my root canal. They're not cheap. And I'm like, I got to pay them so that they can poke in my tooth and hurt me. I'm not doing it. Go to channel. Add as moderator. Standard moderator. I'm not sure what the difference is now. You're a standard moderator. I think that's just regular. Did they change that too, you guys? I was off for a long time. I don't remember that. Let me see. No. I'm going to see what this does, Zach. You're still a moderator, but I need to see. A managing moderator can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live, and also has capabilities of standard moderators. Standard moderators can review and remove chat messages and hide or put users in timeout. Okay, that's what my moderators do. So if somebody comes in here and they're not very nice, we can knock them out, kick them out, and I will ask to do that because we don't tolerate any trolling, any bullying, anything like that. There goes my paycheck. Yeah, Zach, that's a lot of money. And yeah, they have changed. They've changed a lot since I've been on here. I just am just catching the stuff now. But for some reason, you know how in the corner they put like how many people are here in the chat? Why is it's not showing up for me for some reason? Let me go here and see. Nope, solo layout. That's a little bit annoying to me. So if I do this, oh, okay. In order to do the picture, I have to do the drop down menu. So that's going to be annoying. I guess that's the one I'm going to have to do. They put the one that I like. I had to re-add some people they knocked off. Yeah, they're just going around messing with our stuff. YouTube, stop it. We already got stuff going on. We don't need you to be going behind us and removing subscribers and things like that. So, all right. So I am going to read it. I usually like this other one here so I can see the words really good. So I guess I'll just have to go back and forth. So, and I haven't noticed, has anybody been knocked off here? Laura was with us earlier, Laura Story. She's having some difficult stuff going on. So if we could pray for her, and if you don't pray, that's not a problem. If you could send out some positive vibes, we'd love that as well. All right. First, I took my medicine. I don't know what's my problem. Okay. 22 parts of anxiety that were hardest for people to accept. Okay, now we're going to go down to number 1. I'm going to skip but this is what the community had to say. Number 1, living with the fact that you have to get used to second and third and fourth guessing yourself, going around in circles in your head for hours at a time and pondering over the smallest, most insignificant things that others may take for granted. And because of that, people seldom understand why you do this. The lack of understanding, the lack of empathy from others who simply cannot understand. And that's why we're here, because we want to share our stories with other people. We want to share with people who will understand and be kind. If you haven't been through it, just be kind, because some people just need to be heard. And sometimes that helps with our anxiety as well. Once I'm on here and I get to talking and get stuff out, I feel so much better. So we do this live for me and for you. It's not just a one-way street. It's two-way street here, and I appreciate any help and any suggestions you guys can give me. So, yeah, we're here to support. I understand what he's talking about, though, because you've probably told someone you have anxiety and you get the, well, quit worrying. No, you can't do that. And I have to tell you, in my younger days, before I did get anxiety, I probably was saying the same thing when I was in my 20s. I didn't get anxiety till I was in my 30s, went through some stuff. And yes, we are an awesome community. Yes, we are. Went through some stuff, and you have normal anxiety, but I began to do the rumination where you're thinking about things too much. Your one thought goes around and round in your head, and I couldn't get rid of it. And that's when I knew that I had a problem. So I went to the doctor, and that started my mental health journey. That didn't cure me, but that did start my mental health journey. I don't know if there's a cure. I don't. The more I'm looking into the neurodivergent, and we just did the if you haven't seen it yet, we just did the why is that word not coming to me? We just did the autism awareness collab. My seizures and anxiety started when I lost my daughter. Yeah, see, a major life-changing thing, and you don't realize it, but what happens is the trauma, your brain chemistry changes, your thought patterns change. They know this by doing studies with people with anxiety, but also with PTSD and things like that. That it's real. When trauma happens, your brain, it has to figure out a way to get through it, and so sometimes it stuffs it down. If you don't talk about it, then it festers. That's why we have so many animals. Oh, yeah. I didn't have any children either. I have a stepdaughter and a granddaughter, and but I love animals. I just do. We have 2 cats and a dog now, but at the most we had 3 dogs and 2 cats. We're not going there anymore. We were rescuing every pet in the family that nobody, you know. I'm like, so quit getting pets, you idiot. And I think I might have said it like that too. Mm, yeah. But animals don't judge you, don't, if you're anxious, they just want to snuggle you or leave you alone, but they're not going to sit there and say, "Well, why you doing that? Stop doing that." That's what we do, rescue even outside animals. Yeah. My husband, we had a bunch of cats. Hi, Joe. Welcome. We had a bunch of cats, feral cats in the neighborhood, and he said, "No, you cannot have all those cats." So I started getting them spayed and neutered. That's what I could do. So I still did something, but I couldn't take them in because he's like, I think at the time we had 1 cat and 2 dogs. Yeah, 2 dogs. So I think at the time he was just like, "No," because he knew if I could, I would have took them all in. And just, and I know that that's a thing with people who have anxiety and depression, that we sometimes like pets better than people, and that's because they don't judge us. They just wanna love us unconditionally. They don't care if we're thinking about something over and over again that someone might think is stupid. It's not stupid to us, those of us that have it. So, How you doing today, Joe? We have squirrels, birds, and helped raise a hawk. Oh, wow. It still is here. She's around 5 years old and loves us. That is awesome. You have your own wildlife refuge. I'm dogs and cats. And then my cousin has a rat who I will babysit every so often. And I had an injection yesterday, so I'm pretty sore. Oh, ooh. And then after the soreness goes away, then you start to feel better. Mm. These glasses I like, but they have this thing here that's annoying me. Can you see it? It's right on the glasses part right there. I need a Hawk's name is Sunshine. Aw. Mm. Okay. But you got to go through. It's like you can't get 100%, you know. Like I spend more time with my animals than I do people. Yeah, Deb. Yeah. It's more comforting. And I don't like to be touched. Like I don't like to hug people and stuff like that. My mom is a crazy hugger lady, but she wasn't like that when we were little, so I don't like it. And definitely she tries to kiss me. My mom, just my mom. I don't like it either. Why does she do that? She never did that when I was little. But anyways, um what was my point? I just don't like to be touched, but I love it when my kitties and puppies cuddle me, but not people, you know? I love my husband, I do, but we sleep kind of back to back. We don't do that spoon. I've never been a spoon person. So, you know, so that's just how, and he's okay with that. He's okay with that. So let me go to number 2, see if I can read it on this little screen here. Okay. Number 2. People judge you also on bad anxiety days. People don't realize struggling with anxiety is real and very hard to deal with. I don't get to choose good and bad days. That's what we were kind of just talking about, how people can judge you. And I noticed this in one of my family members that like they don't pay attention, serious anxiety, serious anxiety. They don't pay attention. And I'm like, "Did you take your medicine?" They're like, "Yes." I'm like, and they go to therapy and their doctors. I just don't know if the doctors are doing what they should be doing. Sometimes you get a bad doctor. We've talked about that. It's not unusual to have a bad doctor before you find a good one. My late husband and I used to rescue animals at one time. We had 25 dogs and 15 cats. So you were a rescue as well. No, my husband, he was not even an animal person until we got together. So we got together and we lived in an apartment, no pets, but I wanted a cat so bad. I'm like, the kitty will only take up so much room and it won't bother you, nothing like that. And she was adorable. Of course, she was a kitten when we got her, and she just loved him. She just would sit on his lap, hang out with him because I worked a lot at that time. He worked too, but I worked a lot at that time, a lot more than I should have been. And he fell in love with her. So then when we got a house, that's when it got out of control. So we ended up with 2 cats at the apartment, both rescues. Um and then when we got a house, then the dogs came. So I got up to at one time 3 dogs and 2 cats. 3 dogs was too much for me. So I don't know how you did it with 25. Gonna talk to my doctor about upping my sleeping pill. Oh, that's good. Will that help? Are you having trouble sleeping? Wilma, are you having trouble sleeping? But when my anxiety gets crazy, that's the first thing that goes is good sleep, right? The good sleep goes. All right, let's look at number 3. Having to constantly remind myself that I'm okay, even when I am having good days. Constantly remember to relax and just be okay. And that can be hard too because, um oh, okay, Wilma. Yes, I am at need higher. Um, Sometimes when you're anxious, you don't always realize it, so you don't know it's gonna be okay. So, having to tell yourself daily, like habitually is probably a good way to put it. Like, if you do it over and over again, then when you're in that bad place, hopefully your mind will remember to still tell yourself you're okay. But while you're in it, I call it in it when you're in anxiety or in depression and just nothing can get in, it's very difficult to tell yourself you're going to be okay. But you will be okay, right? We all know that you can come out the other side of that and you will be good. All righty. 4, not having control over it. Control has become a huge thing for me in other areas of my life because I feel like if I can control everything, the anxiety might stay away. And that's one thing you have to learn too, right? You have to learn that yes, if I have house painters. I wish you could see. I've got a couch over here and he is knocked out. I got a couch on this side, he's knocked out. There's a window there and a little window seat there. I think my other kitty's in the living room, but he is on the couch just like knocked out. The house panthers are the best. So are house cheetahs. What was that last one about though? I couldn't remember. Oh, controlling it. So here's a fallacy. You cannot control your anxiety. You can use medication to help with it. You can go to therapy to help with it, to talk through it. But you really, if you think you're controlling your anxiety, you are fooling yourself. It will come when you least expect it. It will hit you really hard in the head. Um, when you're stressed, you might go, I'm feeling stressed. But then a week later, that's when the anxiety is not going to come when you're ready for it because it knows you're ready for it. It's going to come when you least expect it, when you're having the most difficulty and you're not going to be able to control it. So that's why therapy, medication, talking about it here on the lives can help. It can help alleviate some of the anxiety. But it's not going to help you control it. You can't turn it on and off. There's no way. And when I hear control, that's what I think. Maybe she meant some other type of control. If you guys think she meant something different, let me know in the comments. But yeah, you can't control it. You can't control your depression either. It comes when it's going to come. And of course, things set you off. But if you're sitting there ready for it, it's not going to come. It's going to come as soon as you relax and you're like, oh, I'm not going to get anxious about this thing. And then bam, that's when it's going to come. Or I'm not going to be depressed. You can tell yourself those things, and it's good to try to be better, to try to be okay. It's good. It's not a horrible thing. I'm just saying if you think you can control it just by your will alone, and you have diagnosed anxiety, generalized anxiety, and severe depression, it is you cannot control it. You cannot stop it. With medication, it helps me to function daily, but I still get hit with anxiety and depression, especially when I'm not expecting it. So, like, was it Monday? I had a really difficult day, and I had to do my I was having my Mask Monday autism collab day, and I was busy all weekend. So I was going to do it Monday. And I tell you what, I was in a funk. I took my medicine. I still was in a funk. I didn't know what was going on with me. I got some good sleep Monday night. So I'm thinking that maybe Sunday night I didn't sleep well, but you don't know. And I want to say it was a little bit of anxiety and depression. And I just did not want to get out of my chair. I didn't want to do the video. I'm so glad I did though. I learned so much from that collab. If you guys haven't seen Chloe's anxiety awareness collab, um, I did the video Monday. There's a playlist in there. There's a bunch of videos with a lot of information and some great stories. Parents of kids who are autistic, teachers of kids who are autistics, and just other people like me who are learning things about autism this month. And just some of the new terms that they use, like they use ASD instead of autism spectrum disorder. That's in place of that because that's a long word, but it's common for people to say ASD. Um, and it's also common for, what was the other one? Oh, people to be misdiagnosed. That's in there too. Anyway, if you get a chance, check out my video and there's a playlist in there. Check the whole playlist out. Some people are doing giveaways, some people are not. Put a panther on top of your head and the purring helps you sleep. And yes, I am serious. I don't like it when they get by my head though, but the purring is, I love the purring because the one will get on my chest, the bigger guy, and his purr is like Luther Vandross, like purr. It's like it's the best purr ever. They both purr, but the big guy's just got this deep. I'm like, if he could talk, he probably would talk like that. Hmm. So I do sometimes put them on my chest, especially when I was sick. And if I was in the bed all day, they would come and lay by me and purr, and that does help. And scientifically, Patrick, that is, they found that that is true scientifically. The hertz of the purr, the HRTZ, does something to your brain and helps you relax. So yes, yes, our kitties are very helpful. Um, Wilma says it helps to keep something soft near you. I keep my sloth by me. My doctor in Ohio told me this. It works. Yes. Yes, you did tell us about your snuggly sloth. They're so cute, aren't they? And calm. I don't think they get anxiety. What do you think? They're so calm and they move slowly and it's not it's intentional. They have intention. Like I am moving here. I am it's not like go 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 go. They're very intentional. So I wonder what it'd be like to have a real one. If you guys know, let me know. Okay, I'm going to go over here and scroll up. I think we were on 4. Yeah, control. You don't have control over it. It's going to control you. Number 5. Number 5, knowing that you're in a tough state of mind, yet having trouble explaining how I feel due to overthinking and overanalyzing my thought process. And that was it. It's like words wouldn't come to me yesterday. Like I'm very talky, right? I talk a lot. But yesterday, my brain wouldn't focus. I took my medicine. I don't know why I couldn't focus. And I felt just yucky. So, yeah, knowing that you're in a tough state of mind, yet having trouble explaining how I feel due to overthinking and overanalyzing. So, words are hard sometimes. I'm always going to be fearful of losing loved ones, then panicking about it. Yes, that is very difficult. Very difficult. We've talked about grief before here, and losing loved ones is a big, big deal. I don't know if you guys saw at the top of the chat, Laura's story came in and asked for prayers. And if you don't pray, no big deal. We don't judge. Just send out some good vibes to her. She's going through some stuff right now. She did lose a family member, and it's in the chat. Go to the top of the chat if you want to check it out. She's an awesome supporter of my channel, and she's an awesome lady. So, yeah, we want to pray for her and her family and lift them up and all the things. So, all right, let's go to the next one. The stigma that surrounds anxiety. To most people, if they can't see it, then they don't believe it. That is true. I am not just using it to get attention most of the time. I'm just trying to reach out for a little bit of help or compassion. Yes. Um, do you guys find that family members don't believe you have anxiety? It's very common, or maybe people at work or friends, or they don't think it's real. They think you just worry too much. Um, it is real. It is a diagnosis and it can be treated. But some people don't realize that they have it so severely. They think that's just life, that's just how it is. And that's when they do listen to the people around them. You don't need the medication, you don't need the therapy, you're fine. Um, so what we try to do here is we try to destigmatize or get rid of the stigma, because there is no stigma. There is none here. You are fine. You have a condition, whatever it might be. I don't have any friends and not too much of family. A sister I talk to even now and then. Okay. Yeah, well, I have had, friends tell me when I started medication for my depression. Well, no, I was on medication for a while. Then I thought it was okay, so I stopped it. I'm sure you guys have been through that as well. I had to go back on it, and I had a friend, she's like, "Do you think you're gonna have to be on that?" She's a natural person, she likes everything natural. "Do you think you're gonna have to be on that forever?" And I said, "Yes, I do. Yes." "Are you sure?" "Yes, I'm sure." So there is a stigma to it. There is. But the more we talk about it, like here, and the more we tell people, family members, friends, and things like that about it, the less stigma surrounds it. And I have that t-shirt that I love. I don't have it on today, but it's "You're okay. It's okay to not be okay." So if someone's telling you snap out of it, that's one thing that I don't know if that's a trigger for me, but I know that those words mean something to me, so I know it's been said to me a lot. Snap out of it, you know, suck it up, whatever else. But when people ask me about my medication, "Do you really need that?" I say, "Well, do you like me today? Because if I don't take my medicine, you won't like me tomorrow." Yeah, especially my antidepressant. You will not I am mean. I am not happy. I am very snippy and sarcastic when I don't take my medication. And normally and then of course after you do that, you feel bad. I do. After I do something like that, then the anxiety comes in. It's like, "Why'd you say that? Why'd you say that? Why'd you do that? You shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah." And so that's why I have to take both types of medication. So um, let's go to the next one. See if I can read that too. Okay. "It's not going away no matter how much therapy or medication. There will always be this fear and you can't get rid of it, but have to learn to live with it. It's annoying if you want to do something, but your body and mind tell you that you just can't do it." Now that's the truth. But we can live with it and be happy, you know? Um just because we have anxiety or because we have depression or BPD or PTSD or OCD, we can still live really great lives. Now, there's going to be some things that you got to get through, and sometimes medication and therapy will help with that. But even though those things happen, everything that person said is correct. You can still live a great life. You can still live a great life, even with any of those issues. Okay, go back over here. Okay. Um, Now this one I like, not knowing what will trigger you, because you don't always know unless it happens a lot. Now, if you find yourself triggered a lot from a certain person, then you should probably stay away from that person. the medication, all the medication and all the therapy may not help you. You may have to remove yourself from that situation. But finding out what triggers can sometimes be difficult because that's what I am, a curious person by nature. So I'm always like, well, why am I feeling so bad? What happened in my day that might be different? Plus I'm an electrician, so I fix things and that's just how my brain works. It sometimes can be very annoying for family and friends. But yeah, I'm always going back trying to think what triggered this? What caused this deeper depression or what caused this bout of anxiety? And sometimes I get an answer and sometimes I don't. So again, there's no control, but trying to find out if there's something that triggers you continually, then that's something that needs to be dealt with. I have a friend as well who does not like to go in public. And I don't love being in a crowded store. I don't. I don't know if anybody really likes that. Maybe there are people that like that, but I don't like that. So I get going to the store at less busy hours. I get that. But you have to leave your house. If you don't leave your house by using therapy and medication, you can get to that point where you can leave your house. If you don't, I believe, and I don't know if this is medically proven, I have no clue, but for myself, if I stay in my house, the more I stay in it, the less I want to leave it and the more comfortable I get. So now that it's gotten nice out and I feel better, I am intentionally going out once or twice a week at least, because if I stay home too much, I start to get depressed. And my husband's like, you probably should go visit somebody, you know. Um, I'm over the thing, like I was depressed when I had to stop working. So I'm over that, but now I need to find you need purpose, right? So I like to visit family, you know, make their day, take them something to eat or just chat with them, let them vocalize. And it's like being here with you guys. I listen and I don't judge, because I think that's a fear that most of us have, is being judged. Things happen, stuff happens, life happens. It's not pretty, but being judged is hard. It's like saying that you're not good enough, or when you're judged, what did you do wrong? You know what I mean? If anybody knows what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. Okay. Let's go to number 10. The amount of time and effort it takes for making sure you have a place to go if you have a panic attack, to making sure you've taken your medication and taking care of yourself. That's important, taking care of yourself. It does take time. You have to make time for yourself. I have 3 cats on the bed with me now. One is on my tummy. We have weather. They want mommy. Do you have some bad weather out there? Mhm. We have a nice day today. I think that's why I'm feeling good. Monday when I felt crappy, it was very, very, cloudy and cold, but something, just my head wasn't right either. Something was up. I'm not sure what. Oh, I shop online or go with Hubs. Well, that's good though. That's good. I get stuff delivered too. Um, or I do go with my husband. And I have been, like, since I've not been sick lately, I do once in a while venture out on my own. Maybe twice a month, maybe, but mostly I'm going to visit somebody or hang out with somebody or see somebody or with my husband. Yeah. Hmm. There was a comment earlier that Deb put in here. Did I address that, Deb? Yep, I did. You rescued a lot of animals. Okay. Because we were talking about husbands. Okay. Let's see. The amount of time and effort. Okay. I'm going to go scroll up. We have 22 to go through. So, but it's just a little after 2. So we have lots of time. The inability to explain myself, yet wanting to. The hyperactive focus on my breath and heartbeat constantly, sometimes for days and nights in a row. I just want to wake up and it be calm through and through. So these are, and I mentioned that at the beginning, they're not facts. They're things that people are going through with their anxiety, things that they feel. Okay. Number 12, it's not something that people can see. They think you're making it up and have no idea how tiring it can be. Yep. Anybody who's never had it in their family or never dealt with anxiety, they don't realize even if you're not moving, your brain is going 100 miles an hour, and that is tiring. Um, and for people that don't believe it's real, that's difficult too. I just, I think it, and I'm an avoider. I just am. I don't know why I'm like that, but I probably would stay away from that person. That doesn't mean that everyone should do that. Oh, you're in Florida. Oh, did I ask you how the weather was? Are you getting bad weather? Because I didn't see anything about Florida on the news today. I don't know if it's hurricane season or what's going on down there. So, um, yeah, but you guys know what I mean. If someone's never been through it, doesn't have a family member who's been through it, they don't understand what it's like to have it. And that can be even more difficult for someone with anxiety. If nobody understands what you're going through, that's even more stress and anxiety on your anxiety. So I understand that. Let's see. We're hearing things. Okay, I can't do as much, or it takes me longer to do basic things like the rest. When I wash in a when I was in a car wreck, it took me way longer to learn how to drive again or be used to having reckless drivers around me and be around children. I'm 22 and my car wreck happened when I was 17. Never being sure of yourself is the hardest for me, Gabriella. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to the next article because this is start to get repetitive, but you guys understand. Oh, does that help with your anxiety? The Vicks inhaler? That might be something I've seen those, and I think I've had one before. It's just not something that I go to right away, I think. So I'm going to put the other article up. It's another anxiety article. Stop screen. Present. Okay. Share. When you can't tell if you're experiencing anxiety or depression. This happens to me quite a bit. I'm wondering if maybe Monday, that's what I was feeling was anxiety and depression at the same time. I don't know what it was. And I know I'm not feeling it right, anymore, but I definitely was. I'm thinking maybe I didn't take my medicine Sunday and that affected me on Monday. Anyway, so the next article is when you can't tell if you're experiencing anxiety or depression. Have you guys ever been in that situation where you're not sure if it's anxiety or depression, or could it be both? I have been in that situation lots of times. Um, like I said, maybe that's why I was in such a funk on Monday. I felt, I don't know, I felt not motivated. I felt not focused. Um, I think I was giving myself a whole "You're really not good at this video thing." I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly, but something. Ooh, rain mixed with hail in some places. Yes. Tell me about the Vicks inhaler. Do you use that just so you can focus or just to clear your sinuses? Okay, let's go back over here. So, when you can't tell if you're experiencing anxiety or depression, and not everybody has a dual diagnosis. I do, and this does pertain to me quite a bit. So, okay, there have been countless times when I could clearly identify and even articulate whether I was experiencing a symptom of anxiety or depression. Yes, and I can't handle strong scents. Me either. Perfume. Um, I can't wear it, and I'm okay if someone else is wearing it, but if they're wearing a lot, I sneeze a lot. So, but yeah, strong scents will give me a headache. And men's cologne, for some reason, my husband will wear it, but he doesn't put a ton of it on. But if I walk somewhere and a dude has like a gallon of cologne on, it it gives me a headache. It does. So it's men's cologne. And then of course we would go to church and sometimes you'd have some ladies that would put on a lot of perfume that would bother me as well. That's one of the reasons we stopped going to one of the churches we went to, because I said, I just can't do it. I can't sit behind somebody who has put on a bottle of perfume. And it wasn't always the same person. It was a small church, but I'm like, I can't do it. Okay. I am excited. I am catching you, Crystal. Hi, Nona. How are you doing? How are your cute little chickies doing? Okay. Oh, that's right, because of you have the COVID, the long COVID. Yeah, and you still can't smell. Um, I like to smell things because you if you see my videos when I get skincare and makeup and stuff, I smell it to see what it smells like, especially if it's real perfumey, I can't put it on my face. But, so I like smelling things, it's just really strong smells will give me a headache. So, all is well. That's great, Nona, I'm so glad. Us, and focus. Science, us, and focus? I'm not sure what you mean, Wilma. All right, we're gonna go back to the article. When you can't tell if you're experiencing anxiety or depression. So sometimes you can tell. I lean over to smell a flower and then remember I can't smell anything. Habit. I know, especially if it's a really pretty flower. If it's a really pretty flower, like a rose, I got 3 rose bushes to plant at my new house. I'm so excited. And that smell isn't overpowering to me. So, but I understand, Nona, that it's a habit. And I hope it doesn't upset you when I talk about smelling things because I do like to smell things. Hmm. You'll have to let me know. Mm-mm-mm. And I hope that your smell will come back though. Yeah. I think they're doing a lot more research now on the long COVID and the symptoms of after COVID. Um, so hopefully they don't stop now that the pandemic is over. Oh, is it over? Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad it's okay. But now that the pandemic is supposed to be over now, the government has said it's over. Hopefully they don't stop researching those things. Oh, yes. That's the best part of eating is smelling the food. Yep. And I think that that can also affect how things taste to you as well. I'm not positive. Okay, I'm going to scroll up here on this one. Doo-dee-doo. So we can see more. Okay. Now we're going to make it bigger so I can read it. Okay. Most mental health problems have overlapping symptoms, but usually there are some defining characteristics that set one apart from another. However, after about 2 decades of having both anxiety and depression, the line has blurred. And the reality of just how blurry it has become happened when my psychiatrist asked me, Now that I am on new medicines, which one I was experiencing more strongly, anxiety or depression? Sinuses. Okay. Sinuses and focus. Yeah, that makes sense about the Vicks. Yeah, that makes sense. I might have to try that. I think I saw something like that at the dollar store. I have to give that a try because I do have trouble focusing. Yeah, if you saw my edits, I edit out a lot of my videos because I'll be like earlier when I couldn't remember autism like that. So, okay. Overlapping mental health problems. Okay. I just stared at him and finally whispered, I don't think I can tell the difference anymore. I was almost in tears, but the realization was both confusing and terrifying. How can I not tell the difference? Aren't they totally different? Aren't they opposite? Apparently not, because his response was, that's okay. They tend to overlap a lot of times. I was baffled, but he wasn't. I didn't bother asking how that was possible, but in coming months, I began to understand what he meant. Here are some areas where I see the overlaps. I can taste sweet, salty, bitter, and spicy. Texture is also very much noticed. Okay, I will try Vicks again. Yup. Woman was telling us that she uses that for sinuses and also for focus when she's like out and about. So I'm thinking I'm going to give that a try too. All right, let me go back over here and scroll up. These are supposed to be some things where you might see an overlap in anxiety and depression. Fatigue. Depression is a clear winner when it comes to causes of fatigue, but anxiety runs a close second. Depression certainly can make you feel tired, too tired to move, but anxiety has a way of actually wearing you out to the point where you have nothing left, which doesn't stop you from being anxious, unfortunately. That's true. I'm always tired, always, and yet I couldn't articulate why if I tried. So that is true. Depression can make you tired and unmotivated, where anxiety makes your brain go into overdrive, which causes, I believe, physical fatigue because your brain doesn't stop. So when your brain is just going and going and going, you're still using energy, even though it's in a different form. But those neurons are firing like crazy, and you're not moving, but your brain is just going all over the place, and that can also physically fatigue you. So when someone says they're tired, it's not always depression. Sometimes it is anxiety. And especially if you're anxious and you're trying to sleep, you're not getting good sleep because your brain is again going 100 miles an hour. Um, yeah, and that's going to make you tired too. And that can one can kind of feed the other as well. If you don't realize that one can kind of feed the other. Um, your depression makes you immobile, which makes your brain go into overdrive. And then the brain in overdrive makes you physically fatigued, which makes you not want to be mobile, and so on and so on and so on. If you've never had it happen to you, it does happen. Um, a lot of people, I didn't understand when I first was how I could have anxiety and depression either. Now, that was probably, gosh, how many years ago was that? I would say in 2018 they changed my meds, but I was on meds before that. So 20 2020 maybe. Uh, all the years kind of flow together. Um, but what was my point? Um, but yes, anxiety and depression can go hand in hand like that. I didn't know that until 2018, to be honest with you. I had been taking medication for a long time and I couldn't understand how can I be depressed and anxious at the same time. And then I went to a rehab in 2018 and I learned a lot there. A whole lot. So let's see. All right, insomnia. On the flip side, I have an awful time trying to get to sleep. I always blame the part for anxiety, my never turn off brain that just doesn't want to let me sleep. But depression is also well known for causing insomnia. The reason may be less clear cut, but it's equally as prevalent. One of the most frequent complaints of people diagnosed with depression is insomnia or early waking. It turns out my racing mind might not be the only cause of my sleep problems after all. Now, with sleep, sometimes if my anxiety is high, I have trouble going to sleep because my brain won't shut down. And I wake up in the middle of the night, and sometimes if my anxiety is high, I can't go back to sleep. Like we're talking 2 o'clock, midnight, 4 o'clock, way earlier than I want. I have you, and in the background, I'm folding clothes and ironing. Oh, that's fine, Wilma. No problem. No problem. As long as we're learning here, that's all we need. We just need to learn. Um, so as far as the depression and sleeping, I always thought it was anxiety. I'm not sure how depression wakes me up at night. So when we bought a camper that wasn't right for us, I lost my appetite and worried that they were not give our money back or let us design a camper that we would be happy with. Yep. Yep. Mhm. Yeah, those are signs for sure of anxiety. Now, how did that turn out for you, Nona? Were you able to get that all straightened out and settled and stuff? Thankfully, they let us change it to one we could design. Awesome. I had a heart attack and died last year and really messed up my memory. Oh man, I would imagine. I would imagine. I'm glad that they did that for you, Nona, because yeah, companies need to step it up. But all that did cause anxiety. I mean, that's just I mean, the unknown is as far as my anxiety goes, the unknown is the worst for me, that in my anxiety. When I have something coming up, like a surgery or a procedure that I've never done before. I did get better when I was sick though, I was okay with going to the hospital. After you go there like 4 or 5 times, it's like you're a repeat customer. So thank goodness you're on the grass side of the earth. Yes, yes. You're still above ground, Wilma. We're glad you're here too. Um, I get sidetracked sometimes. What was that again? Insomnia. Yeah, we're talking about that. I just as far as sleeping, I know that when I'm depressed, I get more I would say my anxious thoughts get meaner to myself, get not so nice and more self-deprecating, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And so that can feed the anxiety, feeling bad, not feeling good, and then you wake up and you're like, my life or whatever sucks, and your brain just goes to town on that. So I can see how that goes together. It's sometimes, at least for me, I think it's mostly my anxiety waking me up. So because if I had to say that I struggle with one more than the other, I would have to say I struggle with anxiety more than depression. Now, the depression sneaks in, but on a day to day basis, I would say my anxiety is the one that I struggle with the most. Trying to stay focused, which also is part of depression, though, is trying to stay focused. Um, so I don't know. Can you have one without the other? I don't, but I'm sure there are people who have just anxiety or just depression. I just don't know because I've talked about my husband before. He's bipolar, so he has both. His manic phases are basically hyper anxiety, very very high. Um he takes medication, so he's doing well. We haven't had any of those in lots of years. So okay. Let's see what the next one is. Insomnia. Oh, lack of enjoyment is the next one. Now, that to me seems to fall more under depression. Let's see what he's got to say about lack of enjoyment. Yeah, that's what I would have said too. Says our first instinct is to say, of course, depression makes it impossible to enjoy anything because you're depressed. And yes, depression does tend to rob people of any sense of enjoyment, even in things they once took pleasure in. Because that's a question they ask you. I sleep well till I wake up at 6 a.m. Then my mind races and I cannot go back to sleep. So I get up and stop. Get up to stop the mind going off track. Yeah. Yeah. If I go to bed early enough, I will get up at 6, but it seems like I don't get to wake up when I wanna wake up. I wake up at, like, 4. If I could just get those extra 2 hours, I wouldn't be so tired, you know? Um, but yeah, that sounds like yeah, when your mind races and then you, once you get up and you start getting, off track. What I have been doing recently is, and we'll talk about this in another one, another mental health Wednesday, wellness Wednesday, is 8D music. It was Life with Keto, and she told me about it, and I checked it out, and it is something that really works well for me. Hello, Sue Ellen from Ohio. I am bipolar also. Thanks for bringing attention to these issues. I wake up around 3 a.m. every morning. Yeah, isn't that? And you probably don't go to bed super early either. It's when you wake up that early, it's like, I'm so tired. If I get up, I'm just going to drag all day. It's hard. So, um, so that's when anxiety robs me of my sleep. Yeah. And you're welcome. Um, I think these issues are important, and the more we talk about it, the less stigma we receive for being diagnosed with these things. So let's go to the next one. What did he said? Lack of enjoyment. Okay, we weren't done with that. But when you get asked about that at like the doctor or whatever, they will ask you that to see if you're depressed. They'll say, depression tends okay, they'll say, "Do you no longer enjoy things you used to enjoy?" That's how they diagnose it. Let's see. But how many parties have I avoided going to because of my anxiety? Yes. How many places have I avoided driving? How many phone calls have I avoided making? Couldn't count them all, even if I wanted to, and I don't want to. I don't enjoy a loud crowd concert if all I'm doing is worrying about all the things that could go wrong and all the things I can't control. So that's where anxiety comes in with your lack of enjoyment. What did keto, life with keto? She told me about the 8D music. If you go on YouTube and you put in 8D music, and if there's a certain musician that you like, you can put 8D in that person's name, like Adele or Crowder or whoever you might like, and see if anything comes up because I don't know how they do it. But what it is they take the music, the same song you hear on the radio, you have to use headphones. So, Nona, if you have headphones, you have to use headphones because what happens is how they make the music, it travels around your head with the headphones on. So I don't know how they do it, but what I know is my mind, which is I know I'm not like other people, will track that as it's moving and I stop thinking about everything but the music. My brain, I told her the first song I listened to, it was like my brain relaxed. It was crazy. I even started to cry a little bit, get verklempt, you know how you release tension. And I was just like, so now I listen to it almost every day. And I did that on Monday. I'm listening to this music on Monday. I'm like, I need to get out of this funk. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You do all the things and it just still comes. So that's what she told me, and it's working really well. Hey, Mr. J, how are you doing? I thought it was very interesting because I don't know how they do it, but you put the headphones in, and when you play the 8D song, you'll hear it travel around. And in my brain, it doesn't work for everybody, but in my brain, I stop thinking about everything and I follow that music. It's like because it's moving, I can't worry or something like that. I don't know, but we'll do a wellness Wednesday on it too. We're supposed to do a collab. I emailed her, but I haven't talked to her recently about neurodivergence, and I don't know a lot about that either. I'm so excited to learn. So, yeah, I found it very interesting. And the first time I heard it, and I said, my brain, it's just like it went boom. It was like tight and it went like this, and just my whole body relaxed. It was a miracle. Yes, I'm saying 8D is in dog. And then you just put that in the search, and I put music after it, and you'll get all types of songs coming up. Yeah, but you gotta use it says it right on there too, use headphones, because if you don't use the headphones, like I was in my sister's car, I was trying to show her what it was without having headphones, and, you could hear it going from speaker to speaker, but I think I have a better sound system in my 2008 Kia than she does in her 2022 Ford, because I didn't get the same effect as I did in my van. So it does help too when I'm in my van. If I'm stressed out, I'll play it, but it's not as good when you have the headphones in. It's like mind blowing. But now, if it doesn't work for you, that's just another. Some people it works for, some people it doesn't. Doesn't work for everybody, but you can always try it. It's free. It's free on YouTube, so I highly recommend it. And when I couldn't get to sleep the other night, I played a couple songs so I could relax. I don't remember when, it was last week sometime. So I do find myself listening more to it, just in general, because and I like Christian music, so I've been trying to look up my favorite artists, and see if there's a few songs. There's a few Christian ones, but mostly it's mainstream. So, but I do like a lot of mainstream too. I just don't listen to it all the time. If it's a good song and it's not all nasty and stuff. I know. Crystal, how are you doing today, Mr. J? If you're still with us, how are you doing? Okay, let's slide on over back here. All right, lack of enjoyment. We covered that. Yeah. Trouble concentrating. Now, this is my biggest one. This, um, when I'm really, really anxious and the mind is going crazy, I have trouble concentrating. So I can sometimes just lose focus and not know what to say. And sometimes I jump from thing to thing to thing to thing, depending on, where I'm at that time. So he says, I usually blame it on ADHD, but even when taking medication for it, I still struggle. Usually, when my depression or anxiety is acting up. When I'm depressed, I find it difficult to get motivated and stay motivated. When I'm anxious, I find it difficult to focus on any one thing before I start worrying about another and another. It can be a combination of all three at times, and those are good days to plan on accomplishing as little as possible. So, yeah, focus is huge for me. If I can't focus, I have difficulty completing a task. I might start something and not finish it. I might start 5 things and not finish any of them. And it's been a pretty bad week because of pain, but I'm getting better. Oh, Mr. J, is it because of the weather? Are you having the rain and the cold right now where you're at? Cuz I've been having the arthritis pain. That's why I don't have my wedding ring on. My fingers have been really, really hurting me. And my mom says she has it as well, but she says it's because of the dampness. And I'm like, how did you live with this and not go to the doctor for this? Hers is, she's had it for so long that she doesn't feel pain anymore because all the nerves are shot, I guess the doctor told her. So I am going to be making an appointment and going to find out about the arthritis. Um, but do you think that's what it is? It's the weather? Because that's what I'm thinking as well. And I'm glad you're getting better. All right. Let's see. Okay. Oh, we were talking about concentrating. See, I can't. I did take my medicine, but still concentration, like my mind wants to go everywhere. And I've never been diagnosed with ADHD. I don't I don't know, because I can watch things. I can sit if it's interesting, I can sit and watch things, but if I'm not in it 100%, then my mind wanders, and, my husband's like, "You have rewinded that TV show, like, 10 times." And I said, "I know, but I just keep getting sidetracked." So focus is my most difficult, anxious thing, and I have an additional medicine I can take for focus, and I forget it sometimes, and that is my own fault. So, yeah, um, so focus is a big deal for anxiety and depression. Alright, appetite changes. Depression. Oh, depression, some days you make me want to eat an entire buffet to fill the void in my soul. Other days, I would be happy to never see food again. But anxiety is no less cruel. Sometimes my stomach is so in knots with dread and fear, I can barely consume enough water to stay hydrated. Some days, though, I am so amped up that no amount of food seems like enough. I'm like a shark on a feeding frenzy, trying anything to slow down the swirling vortex of anxiety which is consuming me. Um, I wonder if all right. So appetite changes. So I have had people were not diagnosed for ADD. We were just said to be daydreaming and not paying attention. Yes, Nona, I'm a big daydreamer. And like I said, for too long, it's hard for me to pay attention if it's a long time. Like they said, the average person can pay attention for about 40 minutes. So we would have these classes at work. They'd be all day, but every 40 minutes you'd get a 10-minute break. Well, I needed a break like every 20 minutes because I would just start to zone out or get bored, and everybody would get bored, so I would stop paying attention. Oh, but appetite changes. Once I started to feel better, I was really sick, so I lost about 25 pounds. Mostly the weather and back spasms along with the shot I got at my doctor appointment, but I'm feeling better. Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. I know it's temporary. I know it's gonna pass, but I'm like, "Holy crap, I can't believe my mom dealt with that for so long and didn't go to the doctors about it." Um, Nona says my daughter has to stand or move to pay attention. Yep. That's why that 8D is it's so awesome that I can focus for that 3.5, 4 minutes. And, yeah. I would say with anxiety, I don't eat as much. What happens with anxiety with me is that my brain is going 100 miles an hour. I used to sit and the whole day would pass by and my husband would come home and be like, "Have you eaten today?" And I would be like, "Oh, you know what? I didn't eat um when I first left work for disability." I had a lot of anxiety. I wasn't getting paid. My insurance got taken away. All kinds of stuff happened. So um, I had to start setting an alarm for lunch because I would not eat breakfast, and it got to the point where I was like, so when dinner came, I would eat all the things. So I had to start eating lunch, and plus I'm diabetic, so you got to keep your body um You gotta keep feeding your body, like, small meals, multiple small meals is what they recommend, and not going for hours and hours without eating, until, like, 5, 6 o'clock at night, it was not good for me. So, I did start setting an alarm, and that did help. That did help because I did start eating lunch. But yeah, so appetite issues happen quite a bit. Let's see. Years ago, people never went to the doctor for physical and mental health. Yes, that is true. My mother and father never went to the doctor for that. It was unheard of because then people would call you crazy. That would have been back in the 80s. And I know for sure my mom dealt with depression and my dad dealt with anxiety. He was an alcoholic. He drank a lot. And I know that's why was the anxiety. Um, and my mom deals with anxiety now as well. But she was mostly, when I was younger, she was mostly depressed. Um, and that was back in that time. Like, even when I started to go, in the 2000s, I didn't want to tell anybody. I didn't mention it. And then one day I just said, you know what, Crystal? This is who I am. Why am I trying to hide it from people I barely know at work? Why do I care what they think? And that's anxiety. That's why you care what they think. Your anxiety is telling you like you're not good enough. You got, all the things. And so just I would say it wasn't 2018, it was well before that. Probably 10 years, probably 2008, 10 around there. I just started telling people, I had an episode at work. I had to take time off. And when I went back, they were like, "Oh, where you been or how you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm doing good. I'm on medication now." And so, yeah. I just started telling everybody all my business and it made me feel better. I don't know if it made them more comfortable, but, when I'd have a bad day, I'd say, "Oh, I think I forgot my medicine today. That's probably why you're getting on my nerves so much." Aw. My dad has anxiety. He was on meds for it in the 80s. Oh, wow. Well, that's awesome that he knew enough to go and get help for that. Yeah. Yeah. My mom couldn't walk and she was given a pill for depression that she wouldn't take it because she went to the doctor for not being able to walk. Depression can hit more than you know. And there are physical symptoms from anxiety and depression. A lot of people think it's all up here. Well, it is mostly up there, but those things, your brain controls the rest of your body. If you are anxious, that anxiety controlling your brain is controlling everything else. And the same with the depression. And I think we know much more now. We know a lot more now. Sue, I think it's amazing that your dad in the 80s was getting medication for it. I wish my dad had done that instead of, drink. Um, I'm sure everybody who has a parent who's an alcoholic thinks that, but it can control the rest of your body. It can cause pain. It can cause, I believe fibromyalgia is real, but I believe that it is also caused from a lot of anxiety and depression too. Oh, come on. You want to come up? We have a kitty visitor, you guys. We have a kitty visitor. Patrick, did you leave? You're not going to get to see him. See how pretty he is? He's so pretty. Now don't. He's sticking his claws into my back. I don't do that. Anyway, this is one of my snuggly kitties. He comes and purrs, but then he jumps up here and he doesn't want to look in the camera. Like he's like, I want to get on you, but I don't want to look in the camera and show everybody how pretty I am. See how pretty he is? He's so pretty. I want to get up here and irritate mom because she's busy. That's basically it. Giving me a massage. I wish it was without the claws though. Oh, my back has so many scratches, you guys. And then because of my anxiety, I pick. And so I'm really doing good. I'm not scratching at them, but as they're healing, they itch. And he's got to stop it. He's just got to stop it. He's torn my back up bad. Um, he does this thing once in a while. He jumps on me and puts his claws in. He did it on my back and he did it on my shoulder from the front as well, like he just did when he just got up here. And I'm like, you can't. I, mm, I. The only thing I can do is push him off. I got to take his claws out first and then get him off me, and then I'm mad at him all day. But he doesn't care. He said she'll leave me alone at least for a little while. Yeah. I don't know if you can hear him purring. Fibromyalgia. My sister does as well. And so I know the pain and the challenges that she has. I don't know if she got that and then came the anxiety and depression or vice versa, but I know that when she is more anxious or depressed, that it gets worse. I know that. It causes the pain to increase. And I believe that's what are you doing? That it has a lot to do. One has a lot to do with the other. So, um, and I know that any mental illness can cause physical pain. And a lot of people don't believe that, but the brain is an amazing organ. And to think that we know everything about it is crazy. Look at his feet up in the air. He's just, goodness, you're just all chilled out and stuff. Where are you? I'm going to bring this down so you guys can see him better. There he is. Look at him being a bad kitty. I'm trying to talk to people. Mister is crowing, so it's snack time. Okay, Nona. Yeah, you got to get him his snacks, Mr. Rooster. Mr. Rooster. Yeah, Sue, yeah, I didn't know that when I first started to be anxious. I got anxiety first. It's more prevalent in me, but then when depression came, I didn't realize I was depressed either. So, but it does cause physical symptoms. It does cause you to not be hungry. It does cause you to have heartburn, indigestion, just like it can manifest in all types of ways. And um, for people to like forever, it took them forever to start diagnosing fibromyalgia. Everybody that has it is in pain, and you guys don't think it exists or you don't know, then you need to start checking into it, you know? So my sister did go through that as well. I don't know if you did, Sue, but when she first got it, a lot of people didn't believe her. And it took a while to get a diagnosis. And she's doing a lot better now, but she still has, life comes in and messes stuff up. But physically, I think she's okay. She's okay. He's so pretty. Are you guys seeing how pretty he is? He's just such a booty head. He's so pretty. Andy's a booty head, aren't you? See, I know I'm pretty. I know it. I know I'm pretty. I love their little feet. I'm always playing with their feet. At first they didn't like it, but they're getting used to it. Well, I've had him. It'll be 2 years in June. 2 years in June. He'll be 2 years old. He's my little one. So, let's see. I am seeing an osteopathic manipulator, and she said I have so much trauma trapped in my body that it will take months to get it all to release. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It shows up in your muscles. Yeah. Is that the same as a chiropractor, or is that different from chiropractor? But I've been to a massage therapist, and she did deep tissue massage, and it took quite a few months for me to not be in there screaming in pain. So, and I appreciated that. A lot of people didn't like to go to her because of that. She was a tiny little lady, but she helped me a lot. She really did. So, I had a lot of stress and trauma trapped in my body as well. But I've never heard of an osteopathic manipulator. So, a little different, more gentle. Okay. Okay. That's awesome. I have to check that out. I haven't been to the chiropractor in a while, and I think I need to continue to go. My back is good, but I think if I don't continue to go, that my back might become bad. So, okay. It is 2:54. Oh, It's only like 5 or 6 minutes. And you guys, I believe today that, Miss Bethany, One Busy Mama, and Wellness with Frugal Mama, I believe that they're going to be going live at 4. I put a reminder in my phone. So if you guys get a chance, it's an awesome live. Um, she comes in sometimes, Frugal Mama, and sometimes Bethany comes too. But they're great supporters, mental health supporters. It's a great live, and sometimes there's a lot of funny stuff and chatting. And so, just if you're not busy after this live, you might want to check that out. Um, and we're getting to wrap stuff up here. Let me see. Oh, the next one is sex. So, yes, I said it. I know we don't like to talk about sex because for some strange reason, it is still taboo. But mental health and mental health medication and sex are inextricably linked. Depression can obviously cause a loss of interest in all things, and often sex drive is the first to take a hit. It can also make you pursue sex more frequently in an attempt to feel better, if even for a brief period of time. Likewise, anxiety can rob you of the desire, whether it's through excessive worry about sex itself or simply draining you the mental and physical energy to do it. It can also cause you to crave compulsive or excessive sex in an effort to burn off or ignore all the thoughts and worries consuming you. Both are equal offenders regardless of gender. And yes, we've seen sex addiction. That's one end of the spectrum. And then the other end of the spectrum is your medication makes you lose total interest in sex. And I think that's important for us to talk about in a non-rude, um, I don't know what another word would be, but non-rude, non-nasty way. So when we have anxiety and depression, we need to also look at those facets of our lives as well. So I want to thank everybody for coming today. And I learned a lot from the articles we were reading. I hope you did too. And this has just been a great day. I thank you guys for coming and chatting with me. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody. Bye.